The network field is currently considered one of the most important and in-demand fields in the job market. Many people repeatedly teach networking and actually start learning it, but after a while, they feel that the topic becomes difficult and requires a lot of studying. That's why at IT2, we will deliver networking to you in a very enjoyable way, far from boring and complicated academic methods. We will also make sure that you see everything you study in a practical way. All you have to do now is like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can receive all the content we upload. The first thing you need in order to start in the networking field is to understand what a network is and why we use it. So in this video, let me explain to you what a network actually means. A computer network, simply put, is a group of computers connected to each other. This connection can be through cables, which is called a wired connection, or without cables at all, which is called a wireless connection. Now that we know what a network is, it's natural to ask, why do we use networks? We use networks mainly for three primary goals: sharing hardware, sharing data, data protection. Of course, we will discuss each of these points in detail in the video, starting with the first one, sharing hardware. To understand this better, let's take a simple example. Assume we have company X, which does not have a network. This company has 4 employees, and of course, each employee has a computer to work on. The employees need to print documents, so each employee must have their own printer. If one printer costs £1,000, then the company will pay £4,000 for 4 employees. Now, imagine that company X grows and hires employee number 5, 6, 10, or even 100. In that case, we would need a printer for every employee. When we look at the total cost, we will find it extremely high, and company X would eventually head toward bankruptcy. Now, let's look at the same scenario in company Y. Company Y also has 4 employees and 4 computers, but here, all devices are connected within the same network. When employees need to use a printer, we don't need to buy a printer for each one. As long as they are on the same network, we can buy one printer connected to the network and allow all employees to print from it. This means all employees have access to use the same printer within the network. In this case, Company Y saves a lot of money and significantly increases productivity. The second main goal of having a network is sharing data, which means exchanging data. For example, in Company X, the same 4 employees are working on a specific project. Each employee has a role in this project. One employee works on it, and another continues from where the first stopped. If there is no network, what do you think will happen? The employee will need to use a storage device, such as a USB flash drive, copy the project onto it, and give it to the next employee so they can continue working on it. If there is a third employee, the same process will happen again. Let's analyze this situation and see the problems with this approach. The first problem is wasted time and effort transferring files to a flash drive. During the transfer, the employee is waiting and unable to work on the project. The second problem is that moving data using flash drives between devices increases the risk of viruses. If any flash drive or device is infected, the virus can spread throughout the entire company. Additionally, the company would rely completely on flash drives, which is neither logical nor professional. As a result, the process becomes complicated, full of problems, and unrealistic. Now let's assume the same scenario in Company Y. Since all devices are connected through a network, any employee can share files easily. All company devices can access a shared folder, have access to the same files, and work on them at the same time. This saves time and effort and greatly increases productivity. Now, since we have a lot of important data, we want to protect it. If any problem occurs, or if someone accidentally deletes the data, we want it to remain available so we can restore it. This is where we use a concept called backup. Many of you have heard of backups before, but not everyone knows what they actually mean. A backup simply means creating a copy of important files so that if any problem occurs, we can restore the data again. In Company X, if we want to make backups, we must do it manually because there is no network. This makes the process very complicated. We would need to use CDs or flash drives, go to every computer daily, take a backup of the important data, and store these disks. If a problem occurs, we would then search through all these disks to retrieve the data. However, in Company Y, since there is a network, there will be a server. This server acts as a centralized location through which we can manage everything, store important files, and create backups in an organized and professional way. So we've learned what a network is and understood the main goals of networking. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can receive all the latest content in the IT field.